convert a decimal number to a decimal fraction. Now what are decimal fractions? The fractions whose denominator is in the power of 10, like 10, 100, 1000, 10,000 and so on. So let's start with this question. Convert to decimal fractions. What are we required to do? Now, the digits which are here in this decimal number, you forget about the decimal and write these digits as it is at numerator's place. So let's do that first of all. This is 0.67. I forget the decimal, then what am I left with? 067. So it's up to me whether I write 067 or I just write 67. Both ways it's going to be correct. Now, for this decimal point, you write 1. And for the rest of the decimal places, you put the number of zeros. So there are 2 decimal places. That means I am going to put 2 zeros. Is it clear? Let's move to the next part. This is 44.756. Forget about the decimal and write all the digits as it is. So it's 44756. Now look at the decimal point. For this decimal point, I write 1. And for the number of decimal places, I am going to put the zeros here. There are 3 decimal places, 1, 2, 3. So I am going to put 3 zeros. So we have converted this decimal number to a decimal fraction. Let's do the next part. This is 3.043. So forget about the decimal. Write at numerator's place these digits as it is. 3043. Now for this decimal point I write 1. And for the number of decimal places I am going to put the zeros. There are 3 decimal places. So I put 3 zeros. Move to the next one. This is 16.7. I write these digits without the decimal as it is. Now, how many decimal places? Only 1. So for the decimal point, I write 1. And for 1 decimal place, I put 1 0. Now, next one. This is 295.8. I forget the decimal. Then I write 2958 and for the decimal I put 1. There is only 1 decimal place. I write 0. Now move to the next one. This is 69.308. I forget the decimal and I am going to write these digits without the decimal as it is. Now for this decimal I write 1 and for these 3 digits in the decimal part, I put 3 zeros. Now, what do you observe? Wherever we had this whole number part, that means other than 0, all these decimal fractions are improper decimal fractions. We can convert them to mixed fractions also. How? Now, just observe from here. This 44 is in whole number part. So how do we write the mixed fraction? There is whole number, then we have the proper fraction. Clear? So I write this whole number part in front of this division bar. So I write here 44. Now we are left with 0.756. So write these digits as it is at numerator's place, 756. For this decimal, I write 1. And for the number of decimal places, I put the zeros. Now we move to the next part. The whole number part is just 3. So let's write 3 in front of this division bar. Now what are we left with? 0.043. So forget about the decimal and write 043 or simply 43. Now for this decimal point I write 1 and there are 3 decimal places, that means I have to put 3 zeros. Now I move to the next part. This is whole number part and it is 16. So I write 16 in front of this division bar. Now 0.7 is left. So I write 7 here. For this decimal point, I write 1. And for this 1 decimal place, I put this 0 here. Now move to the next part. This is 295.8. Whole number part. So let's write 295 in front of this division part. We are left with 0.8. So I forget the decimal and write 8 here. For this point, I write 1. And for 1 decimal place, I put this 0. Now let's move to the last part, everybody. In the whole number part, we have 69. I write 69 here in front of this division bar. Now, for this decimal point, I write 1. And for the 3 decimal places, I put these 3 zeros. Now, what are we left with? 308 in the decimal part. Now, forget about the decimal and write these digits as it is. So, this is our answer. Students, that's it for today. Wasn't it easy for you all? So, make sure that you do the practice of this concept at home. Bye-bye and take good care of yourself.